So next, I'd like to invite up Dr. Bob Steppacher, who's a professor of surgery and anesthesia at the University of Massachusetts Medical School. He's also the Associate Chief Medical Informatics Officer. He's going to discuss the exciting, really exciting updates on VQI integration within Epic.
Thanks. Thank you. So I'm Bob. I'm here to set the VQI on fire. So here are my disclosures. I'm still looking for a lucrative conflict of interest. So just show of hands, how many people here use Epic at your hospital? Wow, okay. How many think it's hard to find data in Epic? About the same number. For surgeons, how many of you went to med school, residency, fellowship, because you like filling out forms? No, all right. So I was actually just talking with Dr. Cronenway. We started this project in 2012. It's taken a while for technology and my job title to catch up to the point where we can actually make this a reality. I would imagine that most of you are probably not involved in Epic in your hospital's IT department the way I am. So our priority was really to build a system that's easy to install, and about as easy to maintain as this kind of thing gets. No matter what, being successful is much more than just installing software. It takes a village. So, you know, I'm appreciative of the prior talks because it's like building this consensus at all the clinical and administrative levels to kind of use these workflows is key to success. So here are the basic assumptions we made when designing and building the system. It goes without saying that for this to work, surgeons or their delegates must be documenting their full or brief op note in Epic. There's only so many hours in the day and money in the bank, so we really wanted to come up with a system that had a realistic chance of being installed at all Epic sites. So by partnering with Epic in Wisconsin, not your local IT staff, we're having Epic do the heavy lifting to minimize the amount of burden to install this. So at UMass, since the dawn of time, surgeons were responsible for filling out the inter-procedure VQI variables on paper. The dreaded red folder would get slipped under my door. I'd hide it under back issues of JVS, discreetly sneak it into the HIPAA bin, and then eventually my chart abstractor would come tackle me in the parking lot. So during COVID, all non-essential personnel were shifted to remote work. So we needed a solution to allow us to capture VQI data and allow our abstractors to work remotely. I'd actually built all this back in 2016, but it actually took a global pandemic to get my partners to use it. So generally, everyone, especially abstractors, is happy with our current workflow. One of the big sticking points was trying to figure out how to move the data between UMass or Epic systems from point A to point B to the VQI. So to move forward, we needed to transition to a more capable tool from what you've seen before with the smart list, which are the drop-down menus. So let me show you what the smart form build looks like from the surgeon's perspective. Okay, roll the tape. And sound. Thanks. All right, so the key here is that we're centralizing the build. So a lot of these forms are built at UMass, some more are built at University of Utah. I'm gonna steal the content from these guys and build it. And then all your IS department really needs to do is download what Epic calls a turbocharger to install the content. To set up the interface, there's a FiOS app that is downloaded by our IS department, much like you would download an app from the Apple Store. So that's a good question. What does FIRE mean? Well, it means Fast Healthcare Interoperability Resources. So it's basically a standard to move data between systems. And as I mentioned, one of the major obstacles was figuring out a way to move the data from point A to point B. So this is where FIRE comes in. So being an international standard, FIRE is, well, standard. It means that IT departments can follow a simple recipe to get this system up and running. Every Epic customer already has FIRE as far as interfaces go, so it's about as streamlined as the process as you can hope for. So a quick recap. The surgeon's documentation is sent from Epic to FiOS where it creates a new case. Of course, as we get started, there'll still be some holes to fill in, but this gets the ball rolling. At the very least, it provides standard work for abstractors to know what they need to abstract. I should note that our build philosophy is really to go wide before we go deep, so we're planning on just rolling out the interop variables across the modules. Once we get through this, then our next step is to really start building tools to capture variables that would typically be found in clinic notes, imaging reports, and discharge summaries. So who knows? Maybe in another 10 years we'll be done, or I'll be replaced by some AI system. So here it is, one-stop shopping. It's your VQI form, it's your op note, and it's your interface message. So I'd like to take a moment to thank the whole team and would be happy to take any questions at the end of the panel. Always feel free to reach out to me via email if you think of anything we should be working on for this project or for Epic in general. Thank you.